Hi everybody, if you're following me on my Facebook page, you would have seen the post I had there asking you guys if you would be interested to know how I am able to speak the way I'm speaking now. Alright, at this point, if you're wondering why I am creating a content like this on my channel and you feel like it's not something that you would spend your time on today, it's okay for you to exit. You can skip this video and I'll see you in my next video about teaching in the US. So, I'm not saying that my English is perfect. I'm sure I'm committing lots of grammar errors as I speak, and also I'm not saying that I don't have the Filipino accent. I'm only saying that since I have been receiving appreciation for the way I'm speaking, and since because the comments you have to that post were very encouraging, I decided to go ahead and create this video despite my hesitation. A lot of you also express your concern about how you're speaking English and it's hindering you from turning in your application. It's making you second guess whether you are a good fit as a teacher in the United States. And I have been telling you, because this is the truth, having an American accent is not a requirement for you to teach in the United States. Of course, you're going to look for some level of English communication proficiency. It is understandable because you're going to teach American students. I'm sure you know there are so many YouTube videos already about how to speak fluently. And if you're not doing it already, I would suggest for you to focus your attention on YouTube videos that are going to help you how to speak like the Americans, or how to speak like the native speakers, and how to be confident around native speakers. Because you're not really learning a new language. You're not trying to learn English because you already know that. We were taught as soon as we step into school. For my followers who are not from the Philippines, just for some context, Filipinos learn English as soon as they step into school. There are some households that would speak English, but that's not the majority. And also because in the Philippines, we have about 120 to 187 dialects or languages spoken, it adds up to the challenge of speaking in a neutral accent. All those different dialects and languages affect how we speak English, obviously. Therefore, we tend to appreciate Filipinos who can speak English in a neutral accent. Like I said, there are so many YouTube videos about how to speak in American accent or in neutral accent or whatever accent you want to learn. So the things that I'll be sharing with you in this video are based on my experience. These are the things which I feel like have contributed to helping me have a neutral accent, kind of. So yeah, I'm claiming that I have a neutral accent. Again, this video is not about how to learn the English language because I assume that everybody knows it already. So this is all about how to speak the way I speak. And I'm not trying to say that you should all emulate how I speak. I'm not trying to say that the way I speak is the way to speak English. Number one is set a goal. My goal was to sound like an American. This may come off to some people as having colonial mentality, but I don't care, to be honest. My end goal really is to be able to speak in such a way that if you're just listening to me and you're not able to see me while I talk, that you won't be able to tell that I am Filipino. So how about you? What's your goal? Number two, get a lot of exposure. Because it is all about speaking in a certain way, then exposure would come from watching lots of American movies, American TV series, speeches in English, interviews in English, and podcasts in English. And as I get a lot of exposure from these things that I've been watching and also the things that I've been listening to, this leads me to my third step, which is to mimic. I did a lot of mimicking, and I still do because I'm still learning up to this point. I know that I'm still not at the level that I want to achieve, and so I keep on watching lots of American TV shows, news, interviews, podcasts, those things that I said, and I realized that there are some preferences that I have. For instance, I prefer women with voices that are low pitched compared to those high pitched women when they talk, and so therefore I gravitate towards the likes of Ivanka Trump, Megyn Kelly, Viola Davis. I like her voice a lot. You should also listen to Angelina Jolie's speeches at different UN conferences. If you're a male, obviously you can also choose some models that you'd like to mimic. Alright, so far I talked about setting a goal, then having lots of exposure, mimicking, and the fourth is to watch lots of YouTube tutorials. They are for free. You can always play back if you want to hear it again, or you want to repeat a certain portion. There are so many things to learn from YouTube. If you can learn how to swim in YouTube, I know that's an exaggerated example, but they're also teaching how to swim on YouTube, how to drive on YouTube. You can definitely learn how to speak a certain way from YouTube tutorials. I'll be putting the link to YouTube channels that I would recommend for you to watch, including those tutorials I was talking about. And of course, the best way to learn how to speak a certain way is by practicing. So, number 5. Take every opportunity to speak English and do it in your preferred manner. If you're applying to teach in the US, I'm assuming that you are currently teaching a class or subject matter that's supposed to be taught in English. Unless you're applying as a foreign language teacher, right? I know that due to necessity, we would end up speaking in our native tongue to help our students understand better. Even English classes sometimes are taught in Tagalog, which is unfortunate as far as I am concerned. So challenge yourself that this school year you are going to hold your classes in English and in the preferred manner that you have identified. This is the best practice for you so that when you're in the US, you're already more comfortable and confident in the way you are speaking English. But like what I have been saying on my Facebook page and YouTube videos, that students there and also your colleagues are used to having international teachers coming in. They're not expecting you to speak the way they speak. They will not be surprised if maybe you have a different accent compared to theirs, and they will be very understanding. So do not worry too much. But when you practice while you are in your home country, it will help a lot with your self-confidence, with your being comfortable in using the language. And as you gain experience teaching your classes in English 100% all the time, since you don't have any other choice, you'll become even more comfortable. Your ears will be trained. I'm telling you, understanding what your students are saying will be one of the challenges you'll face in the beginning. Oh, I have so many funny experiences when it comes to this one. So get as much exposure as you can in order to train your ears even before you go to the US. And finally, number 6, ignore the naysayers. There will be some people around you who will criticize you for trying to speak a certain way, especially when they hear you trying to practice it. Like what I told you, they probably caught you recording yourself speaking English in a manner that you like, or they might be surprised. They could be your colleagues and are surprised to see you speaking English, and then the students are telling their teachers also that you're speaking English 100% all the time. This could be the people who might be criticizing you, either directly or indirectly. For instance, suddenly they would post about being nationalistic, or how people who love foreign language are trying so hard and that you're trying to forget your roots. But you know that's not true. But you know that because you have a goal to speak English a certain way, it is very important for you to practice. Always remember that not everyone is going to be happy or is going to be supportive for all the things that we want to achieve in our lives. But that's not important. For this particular goal that you have, like speaking in a certain way, what others are saying is not important, because you are the one who's going to stand in front of those American students. You'll be the one who will be sweating cold sweats if you're not comfortable with what you're doing. It's not them. I hope that this video has been helpful to you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!